What would change in your life if you started acting like you were the best? Not just saying it, but truly believing it with everything you've got. Imagine waking up every day with the mindset that no one is better than you. No one can outwork you. No one can outsmart you. And no one can outlast you. What do you think that would do for your confidence, your focus, and your ability to crush every goal you set for yourself? Here's the thing. Most people don't understand the power of believing you're the best. They think it's arrogant or unrealistic. But acting like you're the best is exactly what separates the successful from the ones who are always struggling to get by. It's not about being perfect. It's about holding yourself to a standard that forces you to elevate everything you do. When you start to act like you're the best, your mind, your actions, and your results will follow suit. In this video, I'm going to show you why this mindset is so powerful. I'll walk you through why acting as if you're the best doesn't just boost your confidence. It actually changes the way you approach your life, your career, and your relationships. I'll explain how it shifts your focus, helps you break through your self-imposed limits, and makes success seem inevitable. But this isn't just about motivation. It's about giving you the tools you need to become the best version of yourself. If you've ever felt like you're stuck, like you're not reaching your full potential, or like you're constantly hitting roadblocks, this video is for you. You'll get a glimpse into the mindset that has transformed the lives of some of the most successful people out there. So stick with me. Let's dive in and start acting like we're the best, because no one is better than you. Number 1, the power of acting as if you're the best. If there's one thing I want you to remember today, it's this. You have the power to change your life by simply acting as if you are the best. Now, don't get confused. Acting as if you're the best doesn't mean walking around with your chest puffed out, trying to make others feel small. No, this is about a mindset shift, a mentality that says, I am worthy. I have what it takes. It starts with belief. The moment you decide to act as if you're the best, your entire approach to life changes. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you see yourself, it all shifts. You start to carry yourself differently. When you adopt this mindset, you stop being ordinary and start becoming extraordinary. You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need validation from others. When you act as if you are the best, it's not because you want the world to recognize it. It's because you've decided that you are worthy of success, happiness, and greatness. And let me tell you, the moment you make that decision, things begin to change for you. But here's where a lot of people get stuck. They're waiting for permission. They wait for someone to tell them that they're good enough, that they're capable of something bigger. They wait for someone to come and say, hey, you're the best, go for it. But here's the truth, my friend. You don't need anyone's permission to be great. You've got everything inside you already. Now, acting as if you're the best doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It's not about never making mistakes or always having everything figured out. No, it's about taking action with the belief that you're capable of figuring it out along the way. It's about moving forward with the confidence that you have what it takes to overcome whatever comes your way. When you act as if you are the best, you set the tone for everything else in your life. You begin to attract better opportunities. You build stronger relationships, and you start making decisions that will take you where you need to go. This mindset alone is powerful. It changes how you approach your work, your goals, and even the challenges you face. Let me ask you, have you ever been in a room where someone just radiates confidence? They walk in and own the space. They're not bragging, they're not being arrogant, but there's something magnetic about them. You want to listen to them. You want to be around them. That's what happens when you act as if you're the best. It's a magnetic force that attracts success and respect. And it starts with you. You can walk into a room, no matter how intimidating it may seem, and act as if you're the best. Because in reality, there's nothing stopping you from being the best version of yourself right now. You don't have to wait for some future moment or perfect set of circumstances. You can begin today. When you begin to act as if you are the best, you shift your focus. You stop worrying about what others think of you, and you start focusing on what you can control. You don't waste time on self-doubt or fear. Instead, you invest in the belief that your potential is limitless. There's another thing that happens when you act as if you're the best. You raise your standards. When you believe that you are the best, you stop tolerating mediocrity. You won't accept anything less than your best effort. And you certainly won't accept anything less than the best opportunities that come your way. This is about setting a high bar for yourself, a standard that says you won't settle for less. You'll find that acting as if you're the best pushes you to be more disciplined, more focused, more dedicated. You'll work harder because you believe you deserve the rewards of hard work. You'll push through obstacles because you believe your efforts will pay off in the end. And most importantly, you'll never quit on yourself because you believe that the best version of you is always within reach. Here's the thing. If you don't act as if you're the best, you're missing out on a huge part of your potential. When you hold back, when you play small, you deny yourself the chance to show the world who you really are. You deny yourself the opportunity to make a real impact. You settle for less than what you're capable of. And trust me, that's a tragedy. But when you begin to act as if you're the best, even in the smallest of ways, you begin to unlock doors that you didn't know existed. You start to take action on ideas that once seemed out of reach. You begin to speak with more authority, think with more clarity, and work with more intention. It all comes down to one thing: belief. When you believe you are the best, everything else follows. You begin to act with purpose, to take decisive action, and to lead your life with the confidence that you deserve to be successful. And I'm telling you this because I know it works. I've seen it in my own life. I've seen it in the lives of countless others. When you start acting as if you are the best, you stop waiting for opportunities. You start creating them. You stop doubting yourself and start trusting in your abilities. You stop looking for approval from others and start seeking validation from within. It's time to step into the version of yourself that you've always dreamed of. The version of yourself that knows you are capable of achieving great things. The version of yourself that says, I am worthy of success, and I will act like it. Because when you begin to act as if you're the best, you will become the best version of yourself. So here's my challenge to you. Start today. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you that you're good enough. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. The best moment is now. Take action as if you already are the best, and watch your life transform in ways you never imagined. You have the power within you to do great things. Now it's time to act on it. This is how acting as if you're the best begins to shape your life. It starts with believing in yourself and carrying that belief into every action you take. It's a mindset that pushes you towards success, one step at a time. And trust me, when you start living this way, your world will never be the same. Number 2, the importance of self-belief and confidence. You have to believe deep down in your core that you are capable of greatness, or else nothing in life will ever change for you. It doesn't matter how talented you are or how many opportunities are in front of you. If you don't believe in yourself, you will hold yourself back. So let's talk about the power of self-belief and why it's one of the most crucial elements in building a successful, fulfilling life. Without it, you're walking around with your potential locked up, never fully stepping into the person you were meant to be. Self-belief isn't something you get from others. You don't find it on social media, in the opinions of your friends, or in the applause of a crowd. Self-belief comes from within. It's that inner confidence that no matter what comes your way, you've got the strength, the skills, and the determination to handle it. And when you start to believe that no one can do it better than you start acting in a way that reflects that belief. You have to understand something crucial. The world doesn't care how hard you work. If you don't believe in your ability to succeed, it doesn't matter how much knowledge you have, how much experience, or how many hours you've put into your craft. If you don't believe that you are capable of achieving greatness, you'll never push yourself hard enough to get there. You won't take the risks. You won't put in the effort. You won't make the hard decisions. But here's the truth. When you believe you are capable, everything changes. It changes the way you walk into a room. It changes how you talk to yourself. It changes how you deal with setbacks. Self-belief gives you the courage to move forward when everyone else is retreating. It gives you the confidence to take on challenges that others would shy away from. When you believe in yourself, your actions align with that belief, and you start to see the results that others only dream about. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Believing in yourself is hard work. It's not something you can do overnight. It's a process, a habit you build every single day. But I promise you, the moment you start working on your belief in yourself, the world around you starts to shift. Opportunities start to show up. People start to treat you differently. Your results start to improve, simply because you've chosen to believe in yourself, even when it's tough. Self-belief doesn't mean you're arrogant or entitled. It's not about thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about knowing that you are good enough, that you're worthy of success and happiness. It's about understanding that there is a version of yourself that is capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. And that version of you is just waiting for you to take action. Think about the times when you've doubted yourself. Think about those moments when fear took over and you hesitated. You know that feeling, right? The feeling where your mind tells you that you're not enough, that you don't have what it takes. It's a heavy feeling, and it's a feeling that holds you back from everything you're meant to do. But here's the kicker. Those doubts aren't real. They're just stories your mind tells you to keep you in your comfort zone. to keep you small. The truth is, you're more capable than you give yourself credit for. The only thing holding you back is your own doubt. You might think that self-belief is something that only a few lucky people have, but that's not true. Self-belief is something you can develop, and when you do, your life will begin to transform. The first step to developing self-belief is to realize that it's a choice. Every day you get to choose whether or not you believe in yourself. Every decision you make, every action you take, reflects whether you trust yourself or not. If you tell yourself, "I can't do it," your brain will believe it, and it will start looking for all the reasons why you can't. But if you say, "I can do this," your brain will find the resources, the opportunities, and the strength to make it happen. It's all in your mindset. This doesn't mean you should ignore your flaws or pretend like you're perfect. Far from it. Self-belief is about accepting your weaknesses and knowing that you have the power to improve. It's about recognizing that you're not perfect, but you're capable of growing and learning. It's about taking full responsibility for your life and your actions, without blaming anyone or anything for where you are right now. When you take responsibility, you take control. And when you take control, you can shape your future however you want. I want you to imagine something for a second. Picture yourself waking up every day knowing that you are the best person for the job. Imagine walking into every meeting, every situation, and feeling completely confident in your ability to succeed. When you believe in yourself that deeply, nothing can stand in your way. Now I know what you're thinking. "Jim, I'm not perfect. I have doubts. I have fears. I don't know if I can do it." Well, let me tell you something. Every successful person you look up to, every person who has made an impact in this world, has felt the same way. The difference is that they chose to believe in themselves anyway. They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They didn't wait for someone to tell them they were good enough. They decided to act as if they were the best, and eventually they became the best version of themselves. I'll give you a simple piece of advice. Start small. Don't try to change everything all at once. Start by making small decisions that show you believe in yourself. Speak more confidently. Make bolder choices. Take the action that scares you the most. And as you do, your belief in yourself will grow. The more you act as if you are the best, the more you will actually become the best. It's time to stop looking for validation from others. Stop waiting for someone to tell you that you can do it. You have everything you need within you right now. It's all about unlocking it. Start by believing in yourself, and the world will start believing in you too. There's a saying that goes, "You can't outperform your own self-image." Well, I'm telling you, it's time to raise that self-image. You are worthy of success. You are worthy of greatness. It's time to stop holding back and step into your power. Your life will change the moment you decide to believe that you are the best. Number 3, why acting as if you're the best works. You've heard it said before, and I'm going to say it again. You become what you believe. If you believe you can't do something, you'll prove yourself right every time. But if you believe that you can, then there's almost nothing that can stop you. But here's the thing that most people don't understand. Believing that you're the best isn't just about being arrogant or thinking you're the only one who matters. It's about believing that you are capable of extraordinary things. And when you start to act as if you are the best, you unlock something powerful inside of you. Something that can change your life in ways you've never imagined. Let's talk about why acting as if you're the best works. It's not some magic trick, and it's not about pretending. No, it's about shifting your mindset, stepping into your full potential, and setting yourself up for success by acting with confidence and purpose. When you act as if you're the best, you're signaling to the universe, to the people around you, and to yourself that you believe in your own power. And when you believe in your own power, it's like a chain reaction. Things start falling into place. The doors open, you make connections, you take risks, and guess what? Those risks pay off. The truth is, the most successful people didn't get there by waiting for everything to be perfect. They didn't sit around until they felt 100% ready. They acted with the belief that they were already the person they wanted to be. When you act with that level of conviction, you create momentum. You stop waiting for things to happen and start making them happen. But let me tell you something important. This belief doesn't come from external validation. It doesn't come from someone telling you how great you are. It comes from within. It's a deep, unwavering belief that you are worthy of the best, that you have the ability to achieve anything you set your mind to. It's about owning your greatness, even when the world around you may not recognize it yet. When you start acting as if you are the best, you stop second-guessing yourself. You stop letting the opinions of others dictate how you show up in the world. You start owning your decisions, owning your actions, and owning your success. So why does this work? Well, when you act as if you're the best, you begin to operate at a higher level. You raise your standards for yourself, and by doing so, you raise the standards of those around you. People start to treat you differently. They start to respect you more. They start to see you as someone who's serious, someone who knows what they're about. But the most important thing is that you start to see yourself that way. There's a phrase I like to use: when you believe in your own value, others will too. It's that simple. But it all starts with you. If you believe that you're capable of doing something extraordinary, you'll approach every challenge differently. You won't shrink back from difficult situations. You'll embrace them. You'll face them head on because you know you have the skills, the mindset, and the perseverance to push through. Here's a real example. Think about a time when you were about to do something you were nervous about. Maybe it was a job interview, a big presentation, or even just putting yourself out there in a new way. Now ask yourself, what would happen if you walked into that situation thinking, I'm the best person for this? Think about how that would change your posture, your attitude, your energy. Instead of being nervous or doubting yourself, you'd walk in with confidence, ready to tackle whatever comes your way. And here's where it gets really powerful. When you act as if you're the best, you start showing up differently. You stop playing small. You stop holding back. You start showing up with your full potential, and that's when everything begins to change. One of the biggest reasons people don't succeed is because they don't believe they deserve success. They don't believe they can reach the level they dream about. So they hold themselves back, either consciously or unconsciously. They act small. They take small steps. They hesitate. But when you act as if you're already the best, you throw all that hesitation out the window. You stop waiting for permission to be great. You give yourself permission. Here's another thing I want you to understand. Acting as if you're the best doesn't mean pretending to be perfect. It doesn't mean you have to have everything figured out. What it does mean is that you're not going to let your flaws or mistakes hold you back. You're going to use those experiences as fuel. You're going to use them to learn and grow. You're going to embrace every opportunity to improve, even when things don't go as planned. Success is not about avoiding failure. It's about learning from it and using it to get better. When you act as if you're the best, you adopt the mindset of someone who is always improving. The best people don't stay stagnant. They're constantly learning, adapting, and evolving. They know that success isn't about having all the answers. It's about being willing to put in the effort to find them. So when you start acting as if you are the best, you also embrace the idea that you are a work in progress. And that's okay. Because even the best are always growing. You might think, but what if I fail? Well, let me ask you this. What if you don't? What if by acting with confidence and belief, you start to accomplish more than you ever thought possible? What if you finally give yourself permission to take risks, and those risks turn into successes? What if you choose to believe that failure is just a stepping stone towards success? It's not about avoiding failure. It's about using it to propel you forward. When you start acting as if you're the best, you attract the best. You attract opportunities. You attract people who want to work with you, people who want to invest in you, people who see your potential. And here's the kicker. You start to see your own potential too. The more you act as if you are the best, the more you will start to believe it. And once you believe it, there's nothing you can't accomplish. This doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. It takes consistency. But it's absolutely worth it. When you act as if you are the best, you give yourself the power to create the life you want. You stop waiting for things to happen to you. You start making things happen, and that's when everything begins to change. So the next time you're about to step into a new opportunity, a new challenge, or a new situation, I want you to do something simple. Step into that situation as if you are the best. Walk in there knowing that you are more than capable. Act as if you are already the person who has succeeded. And I promise you, you will start to see your life unfold in ways you've only dreamed of. Believe in yourself. Act as if you're the best, and watch everything around you change. Number 4, the impact on your professional life. Have you ever wondered why some people always seem to win? No matter what they do, why they keep climbing higher, getting more opportunities, more success, and more respect. Here's the secret. It's not because they're smarter or luckier than anyone else. It's because they believe in themselves. They act as if they're the best, and in doing so, they create a professional life that reflects that belief. This is how you begin to shift your reality. You don't have to wait for external circumstances to change. You don't have to wait for people to recognize your worth. You start acting like you're already the person you want to be. And that's how you build a career, a business, and a life that others can't help but admire. When you believe that you are the best, when you act as if you are already at the top, something incredible happens. People begin to treat you differently. Your peers, your colleagues, and your clients start to take you seriously. They begin to recognize that you are someone who is not only competent, but also confident in your abilities. This self-belief, this confidence, is magnetic. It draws opportunities to you. It makes people want to work with you, partner with you, or support your ideas because they see that you believe in yourself. They see that you trust your judgment. And that trust, that unwavering belief in yourself, makes all the difference in your professional life. Let me tell you something. In any field, your success is determined not just by what you know, but by how much you believe in your own worth and ability. You might have all the technical skills in the world, but if you don't believe you're capable of great things, if you don't carry yourself with that belief, you'll struggle to get to where you want to be. People can feel when someone is unsure of themselves. They can sense hesitation, doubt, and insecurity. But when you act as if you are the best, when you step into a room with the conviction that you are worthy of the opportunities that come your way, something shifts. It's like the universe starts aligning itself to help you get where you need to go. Opportunities appear that you never expected. You start getting noticed for things you didn't even think were a big deal. Your career starts to take off in ways you can't explain. But it all comes down to one simple thing. You believed you could and you acted like it. Now let's talk about what happens when you start to take this mindset seriously. The first thing that changes is the way you show up every day. No longer are you going through the motions, just doing what needs to be done. When you believe that you're the best, you show up with a sense of purpose, with a sense of pride. You don't just show up to check boxes, you show up to dominate. You show up because you know you have something to offer that no one else does. You know that your work is valuable and that your skills matter. You stop waiting for others to validate you, and instead you start validating yourself through your actions. When you act like you're the best, you stop playing small. You stop accepting mediocrity. You don't let fear hold you back from reaching for bigger goals. You don't back down from challenges. You lean in. And it's not because you're pretending to be perfect or because you think you have it all figured out. It's because you've made a conscious decision to show up as your best self, to give your all, and to trust that your effort will lead to results. And that's what separates the people who stay stuck from those who rise. It's not the effort itself, it's the belief that the effort will pay off. Here's the thing. Success is not a straight path. It's not something that happens overnight. But when you act as if you're already the best, you're constantly moving forward. You're constantly learning, adapting, and improving. You don't settle for where you are. You're always pushing yourself to get better. And let me tell you this, the best don't just win because they work hard. They win because they work with purpose. They don't just go through the motions. They focus on getting results, on creating value, on solving problems. And the more value you add, the more your reputation builds. The more you show up as the best, the more people begin to recognize that you are someone they can rely on, someone they want to work with. When you act as if you're the best, it doesn't matter if you've had a setback. It doesn't matter if things aren't going according to plan. You keep going because you know you have the ability to overcome any obstacle. You believe in yourself, and that belief carries you through the tough times. It's easy to give up when things aren't going well, but the best don't quit. They adapt. They pivot. They figure out a way to keep moving forward, no matter what. And that's what you have to do. Keep going, even when it's hard. Keep pushing, even when you're uncertain. Because when you act like you're already the best, you start showing up with that resilience and perseverance that people can't ignore. You also start seeing opportunities that others miss. While everyone else is caught up in their fear, doubt, and negativity, you're focused on what you can do, how you can improve, and how you can take advantage of what's right in front of you. The best see opportunities where others see obstacles. They look for solutions, not excuses. And that's one of the biggest things that sets successful people apart from those who struggle. They don't let challenges stop them. They let challenges inspire them to find better ways to succeed. Now let's talk about something else. The power of belief extends beyond your work. When you act as if you are the best, you don't just create a professional life that reflects that belief. You create personal relationships that reflect that belief. When you believe in yourself, you begin to attract people who also believe in you. You surround yourself with like-minded individuals who want to help you grow, who want to see you succeed. You begin to network with people who are on the same level as you, people who want to build, create, and collaborate. And these connections are invaluable. They open doors for you in ways that you can't predict. They push you to be better. They challenge you to step up. They encourage you when things get tough. And the best part? They do it because they see that you are someone worth investing in. When you act like you're the best, you naturally attract the best people into your life. You might be wondering, how long will this take? When will I start seeing results? And to that, I would say, it takes time. It takes consistency. But the results are inevitable. You can't act like you're the best and not have it pay off in some way. Whether it's in your career, your relationships, or your personal growth. The investment you make in yourself will always come back to you. When you believe in yourself and act on that belief, you are sowing the seeds for success. And if you keep watering those seeds, you'll see them grow into something powerful. So if you want to create a professional life that reflects your potential, if you want to rise above the crowd and stand out as someone who is confident, capable, and successful, you need to start acting as if you're the best. Show up every day as the person you want to become. Believe in your own worth. Believe that you can add value. Believe that you are worthy of success. And if you do that, you'll start to see the incredible impact it has on your life. Because when you act as if you're the best, everything in your professional life begins to change. Number 5, the effect on your relationships. Have you ever stopped to think about the relationships in your life? The people you surround yourself with, the ones you let into your inner circle, they shape who you are more than you realize. Your friends, your family, your colleagues, they all influence your mindset, your goals, your habits, and ultimately your success. And here's the thing, when you start acting like you're the best, when you believe you're worthy of success, the relationships you build change. You start attracting people who share that mindset, people who believe in you, who challenge you to grow, and who will push you to be your best. When you believe you are the best, it radiates out of you, and the people around you, whether they're aware of it or not, feel that energy. They can see the confidence in your body language. They can hear the conviction in your voice. They notice the way you carry yourself, the way you handle challenges, the way you never settle for less than what you deserve. And because of that, they begin to treat you differently. People respond to confidence, to strength, to clarity. They want to be around someone who is grounded in their own worth, someone who doesn't apologize for their success and isn't afraid to chase their dreams. But here's where it gets powerful. As you raise your standards and start acting like you're the best, your relationships will also raise their standards. The people you associate with start to mirror your energy. If you're surrounding yourself with individuals who are just as committed to growth and success as you are, your life begins to change. You begin to see new opportunities, not because they were hidden, but because your mindset has shifted, and you're now open to seeing them. When you act like you're the best, you become the type of person people want to invest in, work with, and support. Look at any successful person, and I mean any person who is really at the top of their game. What do you notice? They all have strong, supportive networks. They have people who believe in them, people who understand the power of their vision, and people who are willing to help them make it a reality. But here's the catch. These people didn't just come out of nowhere. They didn't just randomly fall into the life of someone successful. No, these people were attracted into that successful person's life because that person acted like they were the best. They carried themselves with an unshakable belief in their own value. And it wasn't arrogant. It was authentic. It was confidence grounded in hard work, skill, and a relentless drive to improve. When you begin to act as if you're the best, the people who are on the same wavelength as you will start to gravitate towards you. Your relationships will grow stronger because you'll be surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who are pushing you to go further, to dream bigger, and to aim higher. These are the kinds of relationships that take your life to the next level. Now, it's important to understand that this doesn't mean you should cut people out of your life because they're not at the same level of success as you. That's not what I'm talking about. What I am talking about is being mindful of who you allow to influence your thoughts, your actions, and your behaviors. It's about choosing to spend your time with people who challenge you, who inspire you, and who push you to be better. You need to surround yourself with people who believe in the value you're creating, people who see the best in you, even when you don't always see it in yourself, because those are the kinds of people who will help you grow. They'll give you the support you need when things get tough. They'll offer advice when you need it. They'll be your cheerleaders when you feel like you're running out of steam. And when you act like you're the best, you start finding people who are doing the same thing. You'll notice that when you begin to elevate your own self-worth, the people around you start to elevate theirs as well. There's a ripple effect. You don't need to force people to change. Your energy, your confidence, and your belief in your own greatness will inspire those around you to believe in theirs. It's almost like a silent, powerful transmission of energy. The best don't compete with each other. They elevate each other. They raise the bar for themselves and everyone around them. Think about the best teams in the world, whether it's in sports, business, or any other field. The individuals that make up those teams are constantly challenging each other to be better. They're not competing against each other. They're pushing each other to new heights, to new levels of excellence. That's the kind of energy you want to create in your relationships. You want people who are going to challenge you to keep improving, to push past your limits, and to step outside your comfort zone. And it's not just about professional relationships. When you act like you're the best in your personal life, it shows up in your friendships, your family relationships, and even your romantic relationships. Confidence, self-respect, and belief in yourself will set the tone for how others treat you. People will treat you with the same respect that you treat yourself. When you act like you're the best, you set a standard for how people are expected to show up in your life. You stop tolerating disrespect, manipulation, or negativity. Instead, you create relationships that are based on mutual respect, trust, and growth. But let me be clear, acting as if you're the best doesn't mean you're perfect. It doesn't mean that you have it all figured out. It means that you're committed to becoming the best version of yourself. It means you're willing to put in the work, make the sacrifices, and do what it takes to improve your life, your career, and your relationships. And that's what will attract the right people into your life. The people who will support you, challenge you, and hold you accountable. The people who will tell you when you're off track, but will also be there to celebrate with you when you hit your goals. These are the relationships that matter the most. So how do you start building these kinds of relationships? It starts with you. You have to believe that you are worth investing in, that you are deserving of high-level relationships, and that you have something valuable to offer. When you act as if you're the best, you stop settling for relationships that drag you down. You stop wasting time with people who don't see your potential, people who don't push you to be better. Instead, you begin to gravitate toward individuals who want to build with you, grow with you, and create something bigger than themselves. You stop accepting anything less than the best, and in doing so, you attract the best. The more you invest in your own personal growth, the more you will attract others who are committed to their own growth. The more you believe that you are the best, the more others will believe in you too. You create a network of people who see the best in you, and in turn you help them see the best in themselves. When you act like the best, you create a life full of powerful, meaningful relationships that will support and elevate you in every way possible. And it all starts with one simple shift. Act as if you're the best. Start believing in your worth, in your abilities, and in the incredible value you bring to the world. When you do that, you'll see your professional life, your personal life, and your relationships start to reflect the best version of yourself. And that, my friend, is a game changer. Number 6, continuous improvement. You can always get better. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal or ideal. This is something every successful person knows deep down. You don't just wake up one day and magically become successful. It takes time, effort, and a willingness to improve, day by day. Success isn't a destination. It's a journey, and that journey doesn't have a finish line. You can always get better. No matter where you are in life, no matter what you've achieved so far, there's always a higher level to reach. There's always room for improvement. You have the ability to keep growing, keep evolving, and keep leveling up. That's the mindset you need to have. I want you to understand something very important right now. You're never done. The minute you think you've mastered something, you start to slip. The key to staying on top, to achieving greatness, is to constantly push yourself to become better. The idea that you've arrived, that you've reached your peak, is a trap. The moment you stop striving for more, you start to decline. If you're not constantly improving, you're falling behind. And let me tell you, no one in the world is going to give you that sense of urgency except for you. Now I want you to look at the person you are right now, the habits you have, the things you do day in and day out. Are you truly operating at your full potential? Are you pushing yourself to be better every single day? The fact is, we all have untapped potential inside of us. There's a version of you that's better, faster, stronger, smarter, and more capable than the person you are today. And the only thing standing in the way of that version of you is your willingness to take the steps to improve. Improvement doesn't happen in huge leaps. It's the small, consistent actions that build over time. You might not see it at first, but day after day, you're getting better. And let me tell you something. Small improvements add up. Every time you take that extra step, every time you choose discipline over comfort, every time you push through the obstacles in your path, you're getting one step closer to the best version of yourself. But the key is to make sure you keep showing up. I know sometimes it feels like the progress is too slow. You look at where you are and where you want to be, and it feels like a huge gap. But I need you to understand that progress is progress, no matter how small. It doesn't matter if it takes a day, a month, or a year. As long as you keep getting better, that's what matters. The journey might feel long, but every step you take is moving you in the right direction. Now, some of you might be thinking, yeah, that sounds great, but I'm already working hard. I'm already pushing myself. What more can I do? Here's the truth. The more you improve, the more you'll realize there's always more to do. The top performers in any field never stop looking for ways to get better. They don't rest on their laurels. They don't look back and say, I've made it. Instead, they ask themselves, how can I be even better tomorrow? They are obsessed with improvement. And here's the powerful part. The more you improve, the more you begin to see opportunities. You start to see things you didn't notice before. You become more aware of how you can elevate not only your own life, but the lives of others around you. When you're constantly working on yourself, your eyes open up to new possibilities, new ways to add value, and new opportunities to take your life to the next level. Take a moment to think about the greatest achievers in history, whether in business, sports, or any field. Do you think they reached their peak and just stopped? Absolutely not. They kept pushing. They kept improving. They kept getting better because they understood that improvement wasn't a one-time event. It's a lifelong commitment. And that's why they became legends. Now I want you to imagine your life 1 year from today. Where could you be if you made a conscious decision to improve just 1% every single day? That's just 1%. It might not seem like a lot in the short term, but trust me, that's where the magic happens. In a year, you'll be 365% better than you are today. Imagine the momentum you'll have. Imagine the skills, the knowledge, the mindset. In just 1 year, you can be completely transformed. But here's the thing. Most people never make that decision. Most people get comfortable, they get complacent, and they stop pushing themselves. They think they've done enough, or they think they've reached the top, and that's when they start sliding back. You have to make the commitment to improve. And I don't just mean in one area of your life. I'm talking about all areas. You improve your physical health, your mental sharpness, your emotional intelligence, your relationships, your financial knowledge, your leadership skills. Every single area of your life should be a reflection of constant improvement. Because if you're not improving in one area, chances are it's affecting every other area of your life. The bottom line is this: you can always get better. There is no limit to your potential. The only thing that holds you back is the belief that you've already reached your peak. That's the lie you need to reject right now. I want you to believe with all your heart that you can always become better. No matter what your current circumstances are, no matter what your past looks like, you have the ability to grow, to improve, and to level up in every aspect of your life. So what are you going to do with that power? Are you going to let it go to waste, or are you going to take action and get better today? Because it's not about where you are right now, it's about where you're headed. And with every step you take toward becoming better, you're getting closer to the person you were always meant to be. Every day is a chance for you to improve, to get closer to your goals, and to get better than you were yesterday. So start today. Start right now. Commit to being better. Commit to growth, and never ever stop improving. Because as long as you're improving, you're winning. And winning, my friend, is what it's all about. Number 7, the role of failure in your journey. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Let's face it. Failure is not something we like to talk about. We don't want to fail. Nobody sets out with the intention of falling short, making mistakes, or looking foolish. But I want you to understand something right now. Failure is a crucial part of your journey. It's not just a setback. It's an opportunity for growth, an essential experience that teaches you lessons you can't learn any other way. If you're afraid of failure, you're missing out on the most valuable lessons life has to offer. Failure isn't the end of the road. It's simply a detour that shows you a better way forward. The reality is that no one has ever reached success without failing first. Every single person who has achieved greatness has experienced failure, probably many times over. Think about it. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company. Walt Disney was told he lacked creativity. Failure didn't stop them. It fueled them. And that's what you have to realize today. Failure is not something to avoid. It's something to embrace. Now I know it's easy to get discouraged when things don't go the way you planned. You take a shot, you give your best effort, and it doesn't work out. But here's the key. You don't fail unless you stop trying. And that's where most people go wrong. They try something, fail, and then think, well, that didn't work. I guess I'm not good enough. That kind of thinking will keep you stuck for the rest of your life. The only way to fail is to quit. As long as you keep going, you haven't truly failed. Think about the most successful people in your life, whether it's someone you admire or someone who's made a significant impact in your industry. I can almost guarantee you that they failed more times than you can count. But the difference between them and others is simple. They didn't let failure define them. They used each failure as a stepping stone, each one a lesson in resilience, persistence, and learning. You see, failure is a teacher. It tells you what didn't work, what you need to improve, and where you can do better next time. It forces you to confront your weaknesses, face your fears, and become stronger. When you fail and get back up, you're building something inside of you that can never be taken away. You're building grit. Grit is the ability to keep going when the odds are stacked against you. It's the determination to press on even when you feel like giving up. And the only way to develop grit is through failure. But there's more to failure than just learning from it. Failure also teaches you about yourself. When you fail, you have two choices. You can either accept defeat, throw in the towel, and tell yourself you're not good enough. Or you can decide that this is not the end of the road, but the beginning of something better. Failure doesn't define who you are unless you let it. It's not a reflection of your worth or your potential. It's simply a part of the process of becoming great. When you're facing failure, it's important to shift your perspective. Instead of seeing it as something to avoid, see it as a necessary part of your growth. Failure is a feedback loop. It tells you exactly what you need to work on. The reason people fail is often because they don't adjust their approach, they don't change their strategies, and they don't learn from what went wrong. But when you take that feedback and use it to make improvements, that's when things start to change. That's when you stop failing and start succeeding. I also want to talk about the importance of being resilient in the face of failure. It's not about how many times you fail, it's about how many times you're willing to get up and keep going. Resilience is key to success. The most successful people I've ever met are the ones who can take a punch, get knocked down, and get right back up again without missing a beat. It's not about being perfect, it's about being persistent. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that failure means they're not cut out for success. They look at their failures and think, this isn't for me. But let me tell you something. Failure is not a reflection of who you are. It's simply a reflection of what you've done so far. And what you've done so far is not all there is to you. There's a version of you that hasn't even come close to showing up yet. That version of you will rise up every time you fall, will learn from every mistake, and will become stronger because of every failure. Let me be clear. Failure doesn't feel good. It's uncomfortable. It stings. It can make you question your abilities. But that discomfort is where the magic happens. Growth happens when you're uncomfortable. It's easy to stay in your comfort zone, to do the things that feel safe and familiar. But nothing ever changes there. It's when you step outside your comfort zone, try something new, fail, and learn from it, that real growth begins. The pain of failure is temporary, but the lessons it teaches you last forever. Another point I want to make is this. Failure is not personal. It's easy to start thinking that failure is a direct reflection of you as a person. That somehow, because things didn't go your way, you're not capable, you're not good enough, or you're not worthy. But let me tell you, that couldn't be further from the truth. Failure is an event, not an identity. Just because you failed doesn't mean you are a failure. Your worth is not tied to your performance. You are still valuable, still capable, and still worthy of success, regardless of the setbacks you face. So don't internalize failure as a reflection of your value. Instead, look at it as an opportunity to learn and to grow. Lastly, I want you to understand the power of perseverance. Perseverance is about staying the course, even when things aren't working out. It's about continuing to push forward, even when the path is unclear and the obstacles seem insurmountable. Perseverance is the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. Those who persevere understand that failure is just a part of the journey. They know that success is not guaranteed, but they're willing to keep going anyway. and that's what sets them apart. When you're faced with failure, don't ask yourself, why did this happen to me? Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I do better next time? Failure is not something to fear. It's something to welcome. Because when you embrace failure, you unlock the greatest weapon you have, the ability to learn, adapt, and keep going. So if you're facing failure right now, don't back down. Don't run from it. Don't let it stop you. Use it, learn from it, and come back stronger than ever. Because every successful person you've ever admired has one thing in common. They've all failed, and they've all kept going. Now it's your turn to do the same. Number 8, the power of consistency. The difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do. Let me ask you something. What separates those who achieve their dreams from those who don't? What makes some people stand out while others blend into the background? It's not talent, luck, or the circumstances they were born into. It's consistency. The ability to keep showing up day after day, regardless of the challenges, setbacks, or failures that come your way. Consistency is what will make or break you. If you want to achieve anything in life, if you want to build something meaningful and worthwhile, you need to understand the power of being consistent. Think about it for a moment. Look at the most successful people in the world, the ones who are consistently winning, making an impact, and changing the game. They didn't get there by working hard for a week or a month or even a year. They got there by showing up every single day. They didn't quit when things got tough, and they didn't take shortcuts when success was within reach. They made a decision, and they stayed the course. It doesn't matter what your goals are, whether you're working on your fitness, building your business, or improving your relationships. Consistency is the key that unlocks success. Without it, everything else you do will be in vain. If you only put in the effort when it's convenient, when you feel motivated, or when you have time, you're never going to get the results you want. You need to commit, even when you don't feel like it, even when you're tired, frustrated, or discouraged. You have to build the habit of showing up, no matter what. And I'm not talking about just showing up physically. I'm talking about being fully present, giving it your all, and doing what needs to be done day after day, week after week, month after month. The key to success is not the big moments or the bursts of energy. It's the small, consistent actions that you take over time. Think about it in terms of physical fitness. You don't get fit by working out for 2 hours one day and then sitting on the couch for the next 2 weeks. That doesn't work. The secret to getting in shape is daily, consistent effort. You might not see dramatic changes at first, but over time, your body begins to transform. You get stronger, leaner, healthier, you build momentum, and suddenly you've achieved something you didn't think was possible. Consistency creates the compound effect. It's the same with any area of life. If you want to build a successful business, you don't just work hard when things are going well. You keep showing up when the sales are low, when the ideas aren't flowing, when the customers aren't coming. Success doesn't happen in a straight line. It's messy, it's unpredictable, and it's filled with ups and downs. But if you keep showing up, day after day, you'll eventually start to see the fruits of your labor. You'll start to see progress where there was none before. Now let's be honest for a second. Consistency isn't always easy. In fact, it can be downright hard. There are days when you don't feel like working. There are days when you feel like quitting. There are days when the odds are stacked against you, and it seems like everything is going wrong. But here's the truth. The days that feel the hardest are the days that matter the most. When you push through those tough moments, when you keep going despite the struggle, you're building character. You're developing mental toughness. You're proving to yourself that you can handle whatever life throws at you. I want you to think about the moments when you've achieved something in your life that you're proud of. Maybe it was a promotion at work. Maybe it was finishing a marathon. Maybe it was writing that book you always dreamed of. I guarantee you that none of those accomplishments came easily. There were probably plenty of times when you wanted to quit, but you didn't. You stayed consistent. You kept doing the small things that added up to something big. And let me tell you something else. Consistency compounds. Every time you take one small step in the right direction, even when it feels insignificant, you're laying the foundation for something bigger. That's how success works. It doesn't happen overnight. But over time, all of those little steps, all of those tiny efforts, begin to add up. Before you know it, you're looking back at a life you've built through consistency. And that life is yours, because you decided to show up, day in and day out. Now I know what you might be thinking. You're wondering how you can stay consistent when the going gets tough. When you don't see immediate results, when it feels like you're spinning your wheels, and the answer is simple. You have to trust the process. Success is not always linear. Sometimes it takes longer than you expect. Sometimes you'll face setbacks. Sometimes you'll feel like you're not getting anywhere at all. But trust the process. Trust that your efforts are adding up. Trust that you're getting closer to your goals with every small action you take. I want you to remember something that will help you stay consistent, no matter what. Success isn't about being perfect. It's not about never making mistakes or always having the right answers. It's about putting in the effort, showing up, and doing the work, even when it's difficult. You don't have to get it right every time. You just have to keep going. Another reason why consistency is so important is because it builds trust in yourself. The more consistently you show up, the more you start to believe in your own ability to succeed. When you do what you say you're going to do, you start to build a reputation with yourself. And that's a reputation that matters more than anything else. Because when you trust yourself, you're unstoppable. When you can rely on yourself to take action, to follow through, to keep pushing even when it's hard, that's when you unlock your true potential. But consistency doesn't just build trust in yourself. It builds trust with others. People are attracted to consistency. When you're reliable, when you do what you say you'll do, people begin to depend on you. Whether it's in your personal relationships, in your business, or in your community, consistency earns you respect. People know they can count on you to deliver. They know that you'll keep your word, follow through, and do whatever it takes to get the job done. And that kind of trust is invaluable. And here's something else I want you to keep in mind. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It means showing up, doing your best, and continuing to improve. You don't have to be the best right away. But if you're consistent, you'll get better, you'll improve, you'll grow. And with that growth, success will follow. At the end of the day, consistency is the thing that will separate you from those who give up. It's the key to long-term success. It's the thing that will allow you to keep moving forward, even when the road gets tough. And if you can embrace the power of consistency, if you can show up every single day and keep putting in the effort, you'll find that success is inevitable. So no matter what you're facing, no matter how hard it gets, remember this: keep going, keep showing up, keep being consistent. Because one day when you look back, you'll realize that the small actions you took every day led to something extraordinary. Success isn't a destination, it's the journey. And that journey is built, step by step, day by day, with consistency. Keep going, and you'll get there. Number 9, overcoming fear and doubt. You will never reach your potential if you let fear hold you back. Fear has a way of creeping into your thoughts, making you question your worth, your abilities, and your future. It paralyzes you in the moment, convincing you that you're not good enough, not capable enough, not ready enough to take the next step. But here's the truth that you need to hear. Fear is a liar. And if you want to break free from the limitations it imposes on your life, you have to learn to overcome it. We all have fear. It's part of being human. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. But the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is how they deal with that fear. Successful people don't let fear stop them. They feel it, acknowledge it, but they don't let it control their actions. They move forward anyway. They act in spite of the fear. If you want to take your life to the next level, you need to start acting in spite of fear. You need to stop waiting for the fear to go away, because it won't. Fear never completely disappears. It's always going to be there, lurking in the background, trying to convince you that you're not ready, that you're not good enough, that you might fail. But here's the thing. You don't need to wait for the fear to disappear in order to take action. Fear is only as powerful as you allow it to be. The more you avoid it, the stronger it becomes. But the more you face it, the weaker it gets. The only way to break through fear is to confront it head on. When you take that first step forward, when you act in spite of the fear, something incredible happens. You realize that it wasn't as bad as you thought. You start to see that the fear was just a product of your mind, trying to keep you comfortable, trying to keep you safe. But safety doesn't lead to greatness. Comfort doesn't lead to growth. Every single person who has ever achieved anything of significance has faced fear. Every entrepreneur, every athlete, every artist, every leader, they all had to fight through fear. And they didn't do it by avoiding it. They did it by stepping into it, by feeling it, and by choosing to move forward anyway. They knew that on the other side of fear was the success they were seeking. Think about it. What's the worst that could happen if you take action in spite of fear? What's the worst that could happen if you step outside your comfort zone and face the things that scare you? The worst thing that can happen is that you fail. And guess what? Failure is not the end. Failure is part of the process. It's a lesson, not a final judgment. You learn from it, grow from it, and keep moving forward. Failure is never final unless you let it be. But fear can stop you dead in your tracks. Fear convinces you that failure is the end of the road, that it's a reflection of your worth, that it means you're not good enough. But that's all a lie. Fear only wins if you let it. The only way to truly fail is to stop trying. You see, failure isn't about the mistakes you make or the setbacks you experience. Failure is about quitting. It's about giving up on your dreams, giving up on your goals, giving up on yourself. As long as you keep going, as long as you keep taking action, you can never truly fail. One of the most powerful things you can do when facing fear is to simply take the next step. It doesn't have to be a huge leap. You don't have to go from 0 to 100 overnight. But you do need to take that first step. The fear will always be there, but it will be smaller with every step you take. Let's talk about doubt for a moment, because fear and doubt are often two sides of the same coin. Doubt is the voice in your head that tells you you're not enough, that you're not qualified, that you're not ready. It's that nagging voice that convinces you that someone else is more capable, more talented, more deserving of success. But I want you to hear this loud and clear. Doubt is the enemy of progress. If you listen to doubt, if you let it control your actions, you will never make progress. Because doubt will always be there. It will always find a reason to hold you back. But you have the power to silence it. You have the power to choose which voice you listen to, the voice of doubt or the voice of determination. The voice of determination tells you that you are enough. It tells you that you are capable. It tells you that you have everything you need to succeed. And if you can tap into that voice, if you can drown out the doubt, you will be unstoppable. The only thing standing between you and your goals is the fear and doubt that you allow to hold you back. Overcoming fear and doubt isn't about being fearless. It's about taking action in spite of them. It's about moving forward even when you don't feel ready, even when you don't feel confident, even when you're scared out of your mind. Confidence isn't something you have to wait for. It's something you build through action. The more you act, the more confident you become. The more you face your fear, the weaker it becomes. Now let me be real with you for a second. Overcoming fear is not easy. It's not something you can just wish away. It takes work, it takes dedication, and it takes a willingness to push yourself outside of your comfort zone. But here's the beautiful part. Every time you face your fear, you grow. Every time you act in spite of your fear, you become stronger. The more you do it, the more you realize that fear has no power over you. It's like building a muscle. The first time you try, it's going to feel hard. It's going to feel uncomfortable. But if you keep pushing through, if you keep practicing, it gets easier. And soon you'll realize that fear is no longer in control. You are. There is a quote I love that says, "The only way to deal with fear is to face it head on." And that's the truth. You don't defeat fear by running away from it. You defeat it by facing it, by doing what scares you, by taking action anyway. I want you to think about something for a moment. What are you afraid of right now? What's holding you back from taking that next step? Maybe it's fear of failure. Maybe it's fear of rejection. Maybe it's fear of what other people will think. Whatever it is, I want you to ask yourself this: is this fear worth my future? Because the truth is, every time you let fear hold you back, you're saying no to the life you could have. You're saying no to the success you deserve. And you're saying no to the person you're capable of becoming. Fear will always be there, but you have the power to choose how you respond to it. You have the power to choose whether it controls you or whether you control it. And here's the most important thing. You are stronger than your fear. You are more capable than your doubt. You are more powerful than you think. And the only thing standing in the way of your success is the fear you're willing to face and overcome. So stop letting fear hold you back. Take that first step, face the doubt, and keep moving forward. Because on the other side of fear is everything you've ever wanted. And if you want it, you have to go get it. Number 10, the ripple effect of acting as if you're the best. Let me tell you something important, something that could change the way you think about success and the life you want to build. Your actions today are the seeds of your future. And what I mean by that is, every little choice you make, every small action you take, every moment you spend focused on becoming better is adding up. It's building something. It's not just about what you do today or tomorrow. It's about how consistent you are over time. The thing is, most people never see this. They don't understand that their daily habits, even the ones they think are insignificant, are the real foundation of their future. But if you want to win, if you want to be successful in anything, you've got to understand the power of consistency. This is where so many people fail. They get excited about an idea, they get motivated for a minute, and they take action. But when they don't see immediate results, they quit. They start doubting themselves, questioning whether they're good enough, or wondering if they're ever going to make it. And that's when the real battle begins. Because success, real success, doesn't happen in a day. It's not about one big breakthrough. It's about the small things you do every single day that add up over time. Think about it. You don't build a house by doing one big thing. You build it brick by brick. You don't get in shape by working out once or twice. It's the consistent effort of showing up day after day. Success is no different. It's those small, consistent actions that compound over time and create real results. Consistency is what separates the winners from the quitters. But here's the catch. Consistency requires patience. And we're living in a world where everyone wants instant gratification. You want the promotion, the recognition, the results. But you don't want to wait for them. You want to skip the process, bypass the work, and get to the rewards without putting in the time. But I've got news for you. It doesn't work that way. There's no shortcut to success, no magic pill. The only way to get to where you want to go is through consistent daily action. That's the truth. If you're waiting for some big moment to change everything, you're going to be waiting a long time. It's the small steps, the little things you do when no one's watching, that make the biggest difference. It's the hour you spend working on your craft when everyone else is out partying. It's the extra reps, the extra effort, the extra push that separates you from everyone else. That's what builds success. I know it can feel discouraging. I know there are days when it feels like nothing is changing, like all the effort you're putting in is for nothing. But here's what you need to understand. The results are coming. They might not be here yet, but they're on the way. It's not the big moments that matter. It's the little ones. You don't need a giant breakthrough. What you need is to show up consistently every single day. That's the real secret to success. Because eventually you'll look back and see just how far you've come. The small daily actions will build the foundation of your success. But I want to remind you of something important. You can't just be consistent. You've got to be consistent with the right things. I don't want you to be out there doing busy work. I want you to focus on the things that actually matter, the things that will move you forward toward your goals. It's easy to get distracted, to fall into the trap of doing things that feel productive but aren't really getting you anywhere. That's why it's so important to have a clear vision. If you want to be successful, you need to know exactly what success looks like for you. You need a clear idea of where you're headed. And then you need to break it down into steps, small, actionable steps that you can take every day. It's not enough to just say, I want to be successful. You have to define what success means to you and create a plan to get there. And once you've got that plan, you need to stick to it. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. You don't have to get everything right every single time. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fail. But that's part of the process. Consistency means you keep going, even when things get tough. It means you show up day after day, even when you're not seeing the results you want. That's what separates the people who make it from the people who quit. But let's be real for a second. It's hard. Staying consistent is tough, especially when the rewards aren't immediate. When you're putting in all this effort and not seeing anything come back, it's easy to feel like it's not worth it. But if you quit, if you give up, you'll never see what could have been. And that's the biggest tragedy of all, when people give up on their dreams because they didn't see instant results. Success doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time, through consistent effort. So what can you do to stay consistent? How do you keep going when it feels like nothing is changing? It starts with a strong why. You need to know why you're doing this, why you're putting in the work. Your why is what keeps you going when the going gets tough. It's the reason you don't quit. It's the fire that fuels you, even when you're exhausted. Find your why and let it drive you. But your why isn't the only thing that will keep you going. You also need to build habits that support your goals. Your habits are what keep you consistent. If you make your success a part of your daily routine, it becomes second nature. You don't have to think about it. You just do it. That's the power of habits. And once you've built those habits, you don't have to rely on motivation anymore. Because motivation fades, but habits stick. And let me tell you something. There are going to be days when you don't feel like showing up. There will be times when you want to quit, when you want to throw in the towel and walk away. But that's when you have to remember that the best don't quit. The best are the ones who keep going when everyone else stops. The best are the ones who show up even when they don't feel like it. The best are the ones who are consistent, even when it's hard. You want to be the best, then you've got to commit to showing up every single day and doing the work. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about making the moment perfect through consistent effort. And trust me, if you can master consistency, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. The secret to success isn't in talent, luck, or timing. It's in consistent action, day after day, until you reach your goal. So let me ask you this. What are you going to do today to start being consistent? What small action can you take right now that will get you one step closer to your goal? The truth is, it doesn't take a giant leap. It just takes a small step in the right direction. And if you keep taking those steps, day after day, you will reach your destination. Consistency is the key. It's the game changer. Remember, success doesn't happen in a day. It happens over time, through consistent effort, through showing up when others quit, and through putting in the work, even when you don't see immediate results. The people who make it are the ones who refuse to give up, who keep going when it's tough, and who understand that the small actions they take today are building their future. If you want success, you have to be consistent. There's no other way.